Welcome to Like Mother, Like Murder. I am Rachel.
And I'm Heather.
We bring you the good,
the badass,
and the crime.
This is Like Mother, Like Murder.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Like Mother, Like Murder, your favorite true crime momcast. I am Rachel.
And I am Heather, and each week we bring you mom-related true crime content, from missing moms to murdered moms, moms who murder, survivors, and more.
Today is you guys, the good, the badass, and the crime.
Yeah.
And not only... we know you guys love this. We know these are your favorite, okay? We have a very, very special guest with us today. The one, the only, the beautiful Alecia Watson.
That is how I demand to be introduced from here on out for the rest of my life.
That's, yes. Agreed. Everyone, you know how like when it's a very fancy party and people have to be like announced when they walk in, like Mr. and Mrs. So from now on, it's just
yeah, absolutely. It's the true crime edition of that. I am here for it. My name already just sounds ridiculously British, so that's fine.
It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. So just so we can kind of thank you for being here. I was going to explain that, like, we've actually all been here for, like, 2 hours or something. And we're just barely starting to record because we've just been having a grand old time. But we do have to record this good, badass crime and bring you all some amazing headlines. And Alecia is going to grace us with her witty commentary as we go through.
Is.
Yeah, we've been talking about spider legs and mean
Soggy
birds
lettuce
in the garden. Like it's been a lot of chaos. So
it has been.
I am very thankful to be here and very thankful for these two. And this is for Patreon, right?
No, this one's actually
this is
going
on our real feed,
Oh,
girl.
good. No, that's even better. You guys should be so lucky to be graced with these two beautiful ladies. Jeez.
Three beautiful ladies here today.
I didn't realize this is a regular feed episode. I'm so sorry.
It is. And the chaos that Alecia was talking about is just going to carry on. You guys, if you're here for our serious episodes, this is our once every once in a while.
That's English.
That made a whole ton of sense. But the point is, we do these every once in a while. It's what we need to
decompress.
Everyone asks, everyone asks us, like, how do you carry on? How do you keep doing this? They're hard. They're heavy. This is one of those.
Yes.
We still talk about moms. We bring good mom, badass mom, and a petty crime or a not so heavy crime. And so Alicia's here for that. Before we get into that and before we get into a very, very important conversation we need to have, Alecia, please tell everyone who you are and where they can find you, what you do, all of those amazing things. And you've been here before, so, they may remember.
Yes, we did our dark and stormy crossover, which I'm still obsessed with, and we're long overdue for another one. But my name is Alecia Watson. I am one half of the Twisted and Uncorked podcast. We release new episodes every Tuesday along with these beautiful ladies. And I also do a secondary podcast now focusing more on unsolved cases and disappearances and family interviews with a podcast called Truly Twisted. It's lots of good stuff. Lots of true crime and goodness, but also like a little bit of positivity sprinkled in there because I feel like we always need something to focus on at the end of it or something to highlight that's good because it can get very heavy. So I'm very glad that you guys do episodes like this.
It is. It's nice. It's important. You're doing amazing. Love both of the shows. So proud of you for finally taking the leap and making, your second project.
Pitching myself to Fire Eyes Media.
That part as well. Such a big deal. It's all amazing.
Still don't know how I pulled that off.
Check it out now.
Obviously, it will all be linked in our show notes. I'm sure that some of our listeners are already super familiar because you have been here before. But yeah, if you guys Truly Twisted, it's new, it's amazing. It's like you said, Alecia, it's very like you're really giving a voice, I feel like, to these cases, and that's such an important thing to do. And like Rachel said, I'm just so proud. I'm so proud to be like, hey, that's my friend.
Oh, that means a lot, especially because I'm working in uncharted territory of like interviewing families and stuff. I have 2 more lined up, and I'm very honored and excited to cover it, but it's definitely, it puts the weight differently in talking about these people when you have somebody directly affected in front of you.
Right. Totally.
It is.
You guys have been doing that aspect for years, and I commend you for it because it's hard sometimes. So.
It is.
It definitely is, but you also talked to Hope Mater, who we had on here on like Mother Like Murder, and told, her story, and you had her on Truly Twisted as well, and so that was a big deal. That was an important conversation.
She was my first victim interview or family directly affected, and I talked to Rachel about this ahead of time, and I was just like, I can't get over that lady's strength and resilience and just like the power that she carries. She's just like a little hurricane moving around, and I admire her so much because if I was in her position, I would not be able to do what she's doing. And I thought about her a lot today because the day that we were recording this is her daughter Lydia's birthday. So I can't get over it. And I say that I think it's become like a weekly theme on Truly Twisted, is just highlighting the strength of people and what they choose to do after the fact. And it's beautiful how they choose to carry their family members' stories forward and memories forward. So,
totally.
She
Hope
is unreal.
Amazing.
She is unmatched.
So go listen to both episodes.
Person.
Listen again.
Yes. Yes. I mean, I think that story will never not make an impact on you, especially when you're hearing it, in Hope's words.
100%.
And I, like you said, she's just a force to be reckoned with.
And there's so many layers.
She's
there's
amazing.
The mental health, there's the true crime, and there's the there's the domestic violence, there's the filicide, there's like all of it in this little one family, and it's I can't with her. She's amazing. So she also mentioned that she's going to be writing a book. I don't know if she told you guys that too. So I'm very excited to read that, since in our 2-hour prequel to this recording we were talking about reading and books and stuff too, so keep on the lookout for that.
Definitely.
She's gonna make some changes, that's for sure. That is for sure. Amazing. Keep doing what you're doing, Alecia. It's amazing. We are big fans, and everyone here should go check her out and become big fans as well.
So sweet.
Before we get into our segment and start with our good moms, we are going to talk about some bad people. Bad people who think that it is their place to speak negatively and tear people down and just be shitheads. We don't like it. It's rude. Luckily, the majority of the time, Heather and I were very, very able to brush it off. You got to do that, right? And I know, Alecia, you've been getting some stuff here and there. It's not fun. So we are going to read 2 of them. but there is a reason. So please stick with us. It is very important you stick through this moment, okay? So Heather hasn't read, she hasn't read this. She hasn't heard this yet. This is live for the one I am going to be reading. Came in 5 days ago on Spotify from LC Foster. Hope you can get your audio issues figured out ASAP. One of you speaks like a professional adult, and the other speaks and screams like a teenage mean girl. When she chimes in, blasts me out in my seat and triggers headaches. Her volume when she's calmly speaking is so much louder, and the other one, when her passion kicks in and her voice heightens, I have to turn the podcast off.
That's talking about you, right?
Oh, wait, you're the professional one?
No.
This is the end of Like Mother, Like Murder. We are done here because I just thought that was about me. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm the teenage one that's freaking out.
I know. That's why I read it to you.
Yeah. So, what I'm going to take from that is this person clearly sees the passion that I have for the content.
Yes.
And I constantly, when I get up in these episodes, I tell people, I'm sorry, I'm about to yell. I give you fair warning.
And she usually follows that with a, Rachel, remember to turn this down.
Turn this down because I'm about to get loud. Look. That's not an audio issue, first. Or probably second, because I think I said, first of all, I'm a passionate person. That's not an audio issue. That's a Heather getting hyped about things people should be hyped about. And if you do not have a similar reaction to me with some of the atrocities that make me scream and yell, then you're a soggy piece of lettuce. And it is what it is. It's just my favorite new thing to say.
I love it so much.
What lettuce?
I love it so much.
Really paints a picture.
It does, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Oh
as we drench our salads with salad dressing. So here we are.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure both of us had lettuce for dinner.
Alecia, you got something not so wonderful as well.
Yes. So I've had my fair share on Twisted and Uncorked, but I will share my first bad review from Truly Twisted because it was just... It's very synonymous with that review. You can't change the way that Heather sounds. You can't. Her voice is beautiful, and it is her. You can't change that about people. So my co-host Sierra's son and I recently had a lesson on sharing things with people that you can change versus you cannot change. Because he told Sierra that she looks like she got punched in the face because she's got bags under her eyes. And I was like, well, we share things that you can change in that moment. You got something in your teeth. You got a stray hair. You got something on your shirt. You can't change a pimple, dark circles, a gray hair. You can't change any of that. You can't change somebody's voice. So... Those are the two categories in which it's...
I think that's such a good lesson, though.
It really is.
I've never heard it explained like that.
I haven't either.
And that is such a great
you
lesson.
Highlight
So
things
all
that you can
moms out there.
change within 5 seconds. If you can't change it, you don't say it.
Right.
I love that
Love
idea.
that.
I love the way you explain that. And it makes such good sense that even like a kid should be able to understand it.
Right? Like, oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Like,
Yeah.
You didn't like the outfit somebody wore to school that day. They can't change that.
They can't,
We're not gonna
they're not going to
comment
go
on
home
it.
and change
Yeah.
it. Yeah. That's
they
such a
made
good way to
decision
explain it.
to wear purple fleece sweatpants to school in the 6th grade. They can't change that. All right?
You can't take that back.
I
Why
want
would
those
you?
today.
That sounds amazing. I was gonna say.
Might have gotten a little personal there. But my thing I can't change is my voice. So this person 5 days ago on Spotify said, "You sound like a really nice person, but it's not like anyone could just move in front of the mic and do a podcast. There are all obvious things that are important, but also, most importantly, you need to have a good voice. Since your podcast is only audio and people listen to you, your voice is the most important part of all of it. You, sadly, don't have a pleasant voice to listen to. In fact, it's quite uncomfortable.
So obviously, so this is the thing. Rachel and I have heard this comment before because you bet your bottom dollar this is in the group chat. This is the thing. Not only, okay, is what you said totally makes sense in this. This person acts like they clearly don't know what they're talking about because, first of all, you didn't just jump in front of a mic and decide to do this. You've literally been doing this for years, okay? And second of all, what if it makes you uncomfortable? I think that says more about you than it does about your voice. Like, oh my God.
The other thing is
they were also commenting on a episode that I had a guest on too, so that's super rude. Like,
super rude.
It is rude. But there are so many podcasts in general. There are so many true crime podcasts. You guys, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Golden rule.
If you do not like what the person sounds like, how they take their episode, how they banter in the beginning, how they scream when they get very passionate, just move on.
Go find something else.
Move on to the next podcast and recommend them. I would love to check it out and see what your taste is. Not.
Yeah.
Well, there's like 3.6 million podcasts.
Seriously.
So
that's what's crazy.
Yeah, if it's constructive, great. Like, somebody left us a bad review about an ad that was placed, misrepresenting like religious beliefs or something. And I sympathize with you for that, but also our ad placement is based on your geolocation and what is already existent in your feed and your phone. And it's like, again, I literally cannot control that. Yeah. I get Toyota ads and because I drive a Toyota and like other random shit in mine. So, of course, we would never want to be misrepresented in that way, but it's also something you can't change. And for indie podcasts, we are limited in terms of ad and revenue. So, unfortunately, we really have very little control over that. So, forgive us. Hit that skip 15 seconds button. Move through it.
Just go. Yeah, move on.
That's what that's for.
But for the ad portion of this. But for the other portion, we actually need to say something to you guys. We have a very, very special guest who is joining us today. I am going to play this clip from April, the host of Crime to Burn, and she needs to let you guys know what is up.
And as for that comment, I hope they get poison ivy in their ass crack and always hit their shin on that metal part of the bed frame when they get up to pee in the middle of the night. What a soggy piece of lettuce that person is. Lady, what kind of narcissistic binge are you on to think anyone on earth gives a shit how you feel about someone's voice? Go find a more productive hobby, like standing in traffic or tongue-kissing electrical sockets.
So there you guys have it. That is from our very own bodyguard, April. If you don't listen to Crime to Burn, you should. And also,
great voice.
Maybe you'll love her voice. Yeah,
I love her so much.
I could listen to that woman talk all day if
for real.
If only because I respect the shit out of and slightly fear her.
Yeah, a little bit of both.
And
no,
for Alecia and
love
Heather,
it.
You guys, she said, we asked April to send this at midnight, and she got out of her bed. She climbed over her husband and left as the dog barked the entire way. And I said, "You're the best." And she said, "I live to serve, especially when my service includes calling out people as gross and useless as hot dog water." So that's how we feel about that.
No notes.
Oh my God, no notes. She's just amazing. You know, people take it from just ditto to everything that April just said, because that is exactly how I feel. And I could not have put it any better, because she put it 100% the best.
Yeah, absolutely. And just a forewarning for all of our routine listeners, be prepared to hear Heather say soggy lettuce like for life.
Nonstop.
Yeah, forever, about every single person. Everyone
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
All right, are you guys ready to get into our show today?
Let's do
27
this.
minutes later.
Let's do this.
All right, let's go.
Should we rock, paper, scissors, Rachel? So, we're going to start today with what we always start with on Good Badass Crime. Good from Heather, because Heather always goes first.
I was going to say a good old rock, paper, scissors between three people. What if we all did it and we all got a different...
Let's try.
Should we see?
Yeah.
All right, are
Ready?
you ready? Rock, paper, scissors.
Why did we all do scissors? Dude, we all did scissors.
We win.
Okay.
All right, Heather, do it.
Let's do it.
This good is because less than a week ago, it was Mother's Day. And we all struggle with that perfect gift for mom. So, as part of my good headline today, this is a PSA from NPR about really memorable mother's gifts. Okay? So, Annalisa Allen in New York said she likes to have a no complaints hike. Really like that. We take a walk with our kids, but they cannot complain about a damn thing.
Oh my gosh. Tell me more.
Great idea, right? Amy Hill from New Jersey says she enjoys her alone time, but didn't get a lot of it as a new mom. You know that's right, girl. So she took matters into her own hands and finally decided to start gifting herself Mother's Day do-overs. This usually consists of a day out with herself or a few friends, but the most fun one she had was going to an amusement park with her friend, who was also another disappointed mom. We had a great time.
That's so funny.
I love that.
Isn't that such a great idea?
I need both of those. I need the hike.
I was going to say, I think you could
Right?
bring the no complaint height just into adulthood in general.
Yes, 100%.
Enjoy the positivity.
Enjoy the positivity. And here's the last Mother's Day gift in the news. One Mother's Day, Mary Janicek had gone back to school in Los Angeles, and her mom was all the way back in Arkansas. So she barely had to spend anything on Mother's Day, but what she did do is she got a margarita recipe. She went to the store, made up some fresh margaritas for her mom, packed it in a thermos, put that in a thermos box, overnighted it to her mom. Happy Mother's Day. She said her mom called her on Mother's Day after a couple margaritas and was beyond delighted.
Wait, was the tequila included?
I didn't know you could ship alcohol,
I
but
didn't
I think
so
you
either.
That's
That's why I'm
amazing.
asking.
Isn't that
No,
so
they didn't
cool?
know. The post office had no idea.
Yeah,
You know
they're
how
like,
they
yeah.
ask you sometimes? They're like, is there any hazardous material in here? You just, nope, not at all. And so the thing that really got me about this one, though, she said that though her mom passed away almost 6 years ago, she said, I can still hear her in my head like those grateful giggles over the phone. It's so sweet. And that's just a memory
That is
she'll
so
always keep with
sweet.
her about how one year on Mother's Day, she couldn't be with her mom, so she packed her a margarita, shipped it off.
Yeah.
That's fucking
love it.
awesome.
Isn't it?
That is so sweet.
If you did not ship your mother a margarita this Mother's Day, do it now.
I know, right?
Also ship me one.
And
I'm a mother.
Yeah. I could go for a margarita.
Rachel, I love you so much. I can't ship you anything. I'm in Canada, so it's going to cost so much money.
Darn it. It's okay. Okay, so I have a good for you guys. But listen, don't be mad, okay? Everyone, I know this is a mom cast, and I know we bring the mom stories, but I'm bringing a dad story from my today. This is a first. But as parents, we could all take the advice and the information from this father and his ways. So I felt it was very important to share. So this father got this idea after talking to teens in an addiction clinic, or many clinics through like across the country. But he asked these teens a simple question. He said, how many of you guys have found yourself in situations where things started to happen that you weren't comfortable with, but you stuck around, mainly because you felt like you didn't have another way out? Every single one of them raised their hands.
Well, yeah, exactly.
I mean,
everyone has been there. Yeah.
And so he the way that he explains it is he started to incorporate this or instill this kind of like idea within his own home. And this is like how he says it works. So I'm going to read this directly from the article. Let's say that my youngest, Danny, gets dropped off at a party. If anything about the situation makes him uncomfortable, all he has to do is text the letter X to any of us, his mother, me, his older brother, his sister, anyone. The one who receives the text has a very basic script to follow. Within a few minutes, they call Danny's phone. When he answers, this is how the conversation goes. Hello? Danny, something's come up and I have to come get you right now. What happened? I'll tell you when I get there. Be ready to leave in 5 minutes. I'm on my way. At that point, Danny tells his friends that something's come up and he has to leave. It's as easy as that. So this kind of like, not mentality, but like having, you know, when you go to an amusement park as a parent, or even me and Joel, like, look, if my phone dies, if I don't know where you're going to be, this is our meeting spot, right?
Right.
You have to have like these
contingency plans. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is so important, I feel, in life to have something like this. But one of the things that he
100%.
says, the kicker of all of this is that to make this work, you have to give these kids, these teens, I can't think of the right word, but the trust. You have to have that trust, and they need to know that they're not going to be punished for what this situation is, because they're doing the right thing, reaching out to you, telling you they're uncomfortable, come and get me. They made that choice. So in his home, they have a no ask, no tell, no questions type policy. It's I picked you up, you came home, you're safe.
Yep.
And that's how it is.
And that's the important part, because now you're giving that trust to your kid, and you, like, they in turn are trusting you. It's like, it's definitely a two-way street. And you, by enacting something like this, you know that your kid just removed themselves from a situation they weren't comfortable with. And that's something you should be super duper proud of. And the fact that you made space to allow them to do such a thing. Like, if there's like imagine a kid going, I'm uncomfortable in this situation, but if I was to call my mom right now and tell her I'm uncomfortable and blah, 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 and she'd be so mad at me. Right. Like, that's not going to get you anywhere. But if you set out this game plan, and like you said, that kicker of don't ask, don't tell, we're just gonna, you're home, you're safe. If you want to talk about it, that's, I'm here to talk about it with you. But the biggest thing is you're home, you're safe, you removed yourself and made a good choice in that situation. That's amazing.
That is
I love that.
I love that.
And I mean, I think it's okay to share dad stories too, because sometimes dads are acting as moms. So
100%.
they're acting as both parents. But I can't tell you how many situations I sat in as a kid feeling bad to like bug my mom. Not that my mom ever made me feel like I was bothering her, but just like, oh, they went out of their way to do this or take me here. I don't want to wreck it just because I'm having a bad day. But I think as a kid, you don't listen to your gut enough. And then you reflect on it later as an adult and you're like, wow, I really should have listened to my gut in that moment. This was not an okay situation to be in. So I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, it really is.
I agree. And I think even for very young children, giving them this is such an important thing to instill immediately, so that they can take it. It builds that trust. It builds that communication. It builds that ability
and
to
confidence.
Trust your gut. Yeah, all of that.
To just be like, I don't like this. I want out. Because that's an 100%. Autonomy that we usually only have as adults. Like, I don't want to be here anymore. Irish goodbye. Like, but for kids,
even if
it's like
as adults,
exactly.
Yeah, totally.
Right.
So, I love that.
Yep. So yes, dad related, but
love it.
Totally. Still on brand for us.
For sure.
Okay. So we are going to head on to the badass. Now, this one, I was just like, this is amazing. This is why we do not pay teachers enough. This is exactly how I feel. And just grateful to hear stories like this, knowing that there are still educators like this in the world. So the parents of this little boy consider his preschool teacher to be a blessing because she spotted a very early sign that their son might have a rare muscle disease. So this story comes to us from Arizona. A teacher noticed that one of her students wasn't running as fast as the other kids in class, and she noticed that he was relying on something called the Gowers maneuver to get himself up off the floor, meaning that I guess what this means is a person uses their arms to walk their body from a seated to a standing position. So she noticed this, and she, being a preschool teacher, she's like, a lot of kids their age, that's not usually what you see. This movement, this way he was moving isn't normal. So she pulled his parents aside, and you can see how this conversation could have gone really badly, right? Like some parents are very defensive about like their child, but this is why it is important to listen. I mean, a lot of times these teachers spend more waking hours with your kid than you do like during the week, and so it's important that you guys have an open line of communication and that there is trust there. So she pulled aside these parents and she said, hey, I just want to share with you some of the observations I've seen. I don't know if you're noticing any of this at home, but maybe just go get him checked by a specialist. Luckily, the parents, they were like, okay, let's do it. You can totally see how that could have gone a different way. But the parents said, okay. They went to a neurologist, and subsequent testing led to this scary diagnosis called Duchenne's I think it's Duchenne. I don't know about the phrasing, but it's a type of muscular dystrophy, and it actually is a muscle wasting disease. And so by the time that this student would have been like basically in middle school, they wouldn't have been able to walk. But getting this early diagnosis, okay, is important because now in just last year, or I guess 2023, he was one of the first children to receive a very specific gene therapy for that muscular dystrophy, which is giving the family a lot of hope that
that's awesome.
He'll be fine. He'll be fine. And so the parents said that they truly believe that this teacher was brought into their lives for this specific reason, and that she completely changed the trajectory of his life for the better.
That is the sweetest thing ever.
I know. And this is what I'm saying is that like these we don't pay teachers enough.
No,
like, come
definitely
on.
not.
Like, come on. Like how, I mean, think about this. You're a preschool teacher. You're probably dealing with at least a dozen kids, if not more. And, you know, you're trying to give your attention to all of them.
Sometimes,
oh, I know.
Too.
And exactly. And that's
Depending
why you can
on the
totally see how
age
this,
of the teacher and everything. Yeah.
if it's their first kid,
Yeah.
if they've had issues before, you know, there could be a lot of reasons why a parent would have just said, no, get the heck out of here. But luckily, these parents were like on board and trusted this teacher. And I mean, from what it seems like, she probably has a great reputation, a great rapport with both children and parents. And thank God. Like, it's just absolutely amazing. I read that and I was just like, we all needed teachers like that. Our kids deserve teachers like that, and we do not pay teachers enough.
And like,
all of those
what's the
things.
worst that can happen if you ask the question or you see
Exactly.
a doctor? It's like, okay,
Yeah.
that person
Just
was
get it
wrong.
checked.
Yeah, but if not, the alternative could be really positive. so.
Imagine.
Right. Oh, man.
My cousins
I
are
feel
all
like-
teachers, and I just like I can't. Like some of the stories they tell me, I'm like, my God. But then other
know.
stories they tell me, I'm like, oh, that makes it worth
Oh
it.
my God.
Yeah.
Totally.
It's terrifying. The stuff that I see or hear is so scary. But I still know how you just said it. So many teachers who their passion and their help is so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I still remember so many of my amazing teachers.
I
Same.
know.
Yeah. In your first teacher crush, I mean, you know.
I know. I can literally name
No,
all
I never
of
had that.
No.
I can
Ever.
I had
No.
all female teachers, and then but the one male teacher I had in first grade, he was like 90, I swear. So
My
I'm good.
grade 8 math teacher.
really, okay.
Woo! Definitely. We
Get
don't,
it,
we don't
Mr.
support
Johnson?
that.
I don't know. I'm just
No.
making up a name, but
No, Mr. Martins.
why does that sound like the nerdiest name?
It totally does. My mom thought he was hot too. It's fine.
Oh, well.
That's not what this show is about. I just feel like teachers need more appreciation.
They do. They do. They do. I agree. All right, Rachel, what's your badass?
I love my badass story so much, so much. So it made me smile so big. This is about a woman named Magda, a 44-year-old mother of one. And it starts, I feel like so many of my badass stories start with something kind of heartbreaking, so I'm sorry for that. But Magda's adoptive parents were both killed in a car crash when she was 18 years old. And so, according to the Polish law, she was able to request her original birth certificate that gave her her birth mother's maiden name in the town that she lived in. So, the headline reads, an adopted woman met her two sisters for the first time in 44 years after hiring a private detective to track down her birth family. My voice quivered. Magda Berg hired the detective after her own 20-year search hit a dead end. So she did her own search for years. Then she ended up paying someone money. They found the names and the addresses of her family members quickly, too. Like, after she hired this person, I want to say it was like 4 months later that they found her family. And this 44-year-old mother of one was able to meet her birth mom. And she discovered she had 3 half-siblings, including 2 sisters.
That's so
Now
crazy.
she feels a real sense of family.
Oh, that's so sweet. Oh.
It was the sweetest. And she says stuff like in this article, she says stuff like, my sisters and I connected right away. It was amazing. They don't live too far from each other, so they see each other sometimes, but they go out on like backpacking trips and hiking and stuff. They have a lot in common. She says that there was like moments where they even started finishing each other's sentences as if they had been together this entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just so amazing. I don't know. And seeing the pictures, like, they look alike and you can tell. And it's just, like, crazy to know that with her being adoptive, and I don't know the entire story. I don't know if she was the oldest or, you know what. But her being adopted and, like, looking at them, it's like, you guys all belong together for life. It's the sweetest thing. Aww. So I just love she did her own fight for 20 years, and she's like, you hit that wall. How often we do something for a week and we get fed up with it or tired of it, and it's not going how we want it to. 20 years of her after she lost her adoptive parents, and then she's like, okay, I've done what I can. Let me get this person, and 4 months later, she meets them in person.
That's so awesome.
I love that.
Yeah.
Cut from
Makes
the
me
same
want to be a
cloth.
PI.
Yeah. Just like, well, it shows you too, like I, when I was going to school for psychology and different subcategories, they do like a lot of adoptive studies, and a lot of your personality is a little bit genetically what's the word I'm thinking of, like geared, like you just relate to certain people better than others. And of course your family, in some ways, without even knowing them for your whole life, you could have that little you can have that with people that you meet and podcast friends and stuff, and you choose your own family to an extent. But I just think that that's really cool that she was able to find that after so long. Oh,
it
totally
reminds me. I know. It totally reminds me of that story of the twins that were separated at birth, and then like they met each other at 40, and they
are wild.
They're wild, and then like because like these guys both like had married a woman named Jill, got divorced like 2 years later, and then both married another woman named like Beth. Both worked like the same kind of job. Both like had like the same cigarettes. Like it was crazy how alike these two men were. It was crazy. It was crazy.
People.
It's amazing though. Yes. Okay. Are you guys ready for this hilarious crime? Actually.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you the headline, because when I read it, I'm like, oh, this is too good. Tip from mother helps solve Fort Mill bank robbery. Man sentenced to 12 years. Alrighty, I love this mom. You're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A South Carolina man, and you guys have to see this picture of this guy. A South Carolina man will spend 12 years in prison for a bank robbery that police say was foiled by a call from the suspect's mother.
Oh my gosh. Love it.
So his mom identified him in the video, and he was wearing a fake beard and a wig during the robbery, and she's like, that's my son. So
if my kid was robbing banks, I'd call his ass out too.
How? Yeah, and what's so this guy is only 25 years old, getting himself in trouble, and then what? Like a dumbass, this mom is probably like, oh my God, what is wrong with my son? Claimed during his trial that he was actually entitled to the $1,200 that he stole from the bank. He had walked in and, in his fake beard and his wig, and he had
and all you got was $1,200. $1,200.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Where's bank robbery, sir?
What I'm saying.
Not to say you should rob banks, but I mean, like, if you're gonna go out for a bigger number.
But I just love this mom going, oh my God. What is he doing now?
That's wild.
Sounds like a cartoon with like a fake mustache.
Right? Oh my God, no, you should see the picture. It's literally a cartoon. He's literally a cartoon.
What's his name?
Hold on, let me look it up.
I need it.
Yeah, if you Google it, Anthony Drayton. Anthony Drayton. Like, look at the picture from the bank. He literally is a cartoon.
Wait, I think I did it wrong. Where's he? Which?
Anthony Drayton. Drayton. And it's literally like they have like the screenshot from the bank's like video cameras, and he's literally wearing like a wig with a flip and like the fakest beard you've ever seen.
Do you see it?
Yes.
So bad.
My.
Can I share screen?
Okay, also, like...
I'll show your peeps.
We'll post the video on our Instagram so you guys can chuckle along with us.
Yeah, what is this?
Yeah, I don't like it. Not a fan.
Oh, God.
That's going to keep me up even longer than I need to be up. To be
imagine how bad that wig and beard smelled. Like, ugh, disgusting.
Yep.
Okay, Rachel, what's your crime?
Mine's not funny.
Oh,
You're
no.
going to get irritated.
Oh, man.
Yeah, this woman
Better
is just
turn down my volume now.
Shit, this woman's a plain old Elsie Foster.
Shut the fuck up. You turn it up.
Yeah, this one's really rough. So it's more annoying than anything because you really feel for the victim in this in more ways than one. But, you know, mother-daughter crime, so I wanted to share it. Here's the headline. Woman stole $1 million from mother. And then, listen, the things that she says to her will blow your damn mind, okay? She started kind of like helping out her mom a little bit. She kind of like, I think in my opinion, this is all alleged, in my opinion, weaved her way into her life on purpose to kind of like get in there. And eventually her mom had put her on the bank account and she transferred approximately $1,066,000 from her mom's. Who has that, by the way? But
seriously,
from her mom's bank account to her own. Okay?
Oh my God.
She was caring her mother was caring for her husband during this too. So it's like this daughter goes in there and like just fully takes advantage of her mom, who is just trying to do right by her husband, who is really, really struggling. And that this daughter, the whole time that because she ended up like living with them for a while, I guess, all she did was drink. All she did was kind of like sit around, leave messes everywhere, did nothing to help. So pretty worthless, in my opinion. Really, really ridiculous. And the mom said that she would like verbally abuse her and bullied her. She bullied her into adding her to the bank account. Now, this is what will make you very, very, very rage out right now, is that I'm going to read this, and it, like I said, it just makes me so mad. But she said that when the mom called the daughter, that she said, "I hope you starve now, and I hope you die so I can spit on your grave." Isn't that the most disgusting and ridiculous thing you've ever heard?
Oh my
Who says that?
To any
says
person,
that?
let alone
To
your
any person.
mother.
She was dirty, disgusting human.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and I mean, she was caught.
Yeah.
She was caught in the act. She was taken. But the stuff that this mom had to put up with and live with and deal with and go through, the abuse, verbally, everything, and that's just the craziest thing to say. It's insane. So she was taken. She ended up being like held on like $100,000 bond. She was in there, has all these charges she has to pay. It just
I feel so bad for that mom, because it's like,
disgusting.
as a mom, you do anything for your kids. Like, you literally would do anything for your kids. And I feel like you said, this daughter's just like taking advantage of that and just literally like, disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. You know what,
the
people?
fact that like she's sitting there taking care of her husband, and then this daughter just like shows up, possibly pretending to help in the meantime, you know, like but didn't help.
Definitely
whatsoever.
did not.
Just made
Only
everything
hurt.
worse.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh! And then just drank the whole time, left messes, was garbage. It infuriates me. So.
As it you know what, people, be nice to your moms. Be
Seriously.
nice.
Yeah.
Happy belated Mother's Day.
Your story. Right. No, but I should have ended on your story, so we could have laughed about that instead of this.
You know what?
Well, sometimes
She's a
you can
soggy piece
laugh
of lettuce.
At
What'd you say?
I was gonna say sometimes you can you can hate your mom,
Right.
whether they deserve it or they don't. And you can hate your kids whether they deserve it or they don't. But I feel like there's always so many sides to that story. And yes, in this case, absolute soggy piece of lettuce. But yeah, this just doesn't seem justified and is wrong. And also,
It's
yeah,
crazy.
who has that kind of money in their bank account? But also,
I want it. I want it.
are they
I want
looking
that
to be are they looking to adopt a 32-year-old?
I'll move in with you guys.
Yeah, be a nicer daughter than.
I'll be nice.
I will mop your floors.
Seriously.
I did that when I was a kid. I don't know why. I really like
You're like,
sweeping
that's-
and mopping.
That was my chore.
Fucking
Yeah, no,
weird
it's
kid.
just imagine doing that to any, just like a person, just like a person,
Wow.
and then not, and now it's your mom. It's your mom. Like, what the fuck? That's just crazy.
No,
Soggy
not
piece
good.
of lettuce.
awful.
Not good. Yep, soggy piece of lettuce for sure. For sure.
I feel like Heather needs a gavel.
Soggy piece of
Yes.
lettuce.
We need to send.
Bang.
I'm gonna
Thanks,
send
soggy piece of
Heather a
lettuce.
gavel. I don't know how I'm gonna do
You're
it
gonna
yet,
send
but I'm
Heather a
gonna do it.
gavel. I'm gonna send April a thank you note.
For Mother Like Murder's new catchphrase.
No,
Soggy
we're
piece
gonna
of
send
lettuce.
Heather. Or sorry, we're gonna send Heather a gavel, and April's gonna get a wig.
Yes.
She's like the ultimate cast down all of her insults to us with the gavels.
I love it so much.
That's the best. That's the best.
Yes.
April is mother.
She is.
Yes.
She is.
She is all of our mother. She is. April, you're amazing. Thank you for taking
Sponsoring this episode.
Yes, thank you
She's
for
like,
sponsoring
I didn't
this
sign up
episode.
for this. Remove that audio
Thank you
immediately.
for taking all of our feelings that we feel when we read these mean comments and so beautifully and vividly and succinctly putting them in just the most amazing,
well-written,
literary prose
well-educated
that-
insults.
Exactly. Just something that no one could ever come close to. And you're amazing. And Alecia, you're amazing for being here
Yes.
with us today. This was totally impromptu. We were literally having just like a gab session. And then we were like,
Absolutely
hey,
it was.
Alecia, come be on our episode today.
No, I'm so honored. I was like, I would have drank less wine before this if I had known. But no, I definitely needed our pre-chat, and I definitely needed all of these amazing stories that you guys shared with me. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. You're
For
very
sure.
welcome. Thank you for gracing us with your presence today. And
Do you want to
for our
shout?
laughs.
I was gonna say, you want to shout yourself out again, or you want Heather to do it? Because I would love to see Heather do it.
Okay.
I would love to see Heather do it too.
Okay, here we go. This is Alecia, one half of the Twisted and Uncorked podcast, where they cover all things twisted. Like, one of my favorites is your murder list. Is your murder list is on Patreon too, or is that just like a regular one? I like your murder list. I like your cults. That is a favorite of mine. I love the cults. And Alecia has also launched her amazing solo project, which is so amazing. I think I said it earlier. I feel like the way that you are approaching it and the way you're really giving a voice to these cases, and I love that so much. You guys go check out all things Alecia. She's amazing.
Yes.
Everything will be linked in the bio, or in the show notes. And if you're not already, because I'm sure like most of these people are already following, because we've shouted out Twisted and you guys, like, we've been on each other's shows, and we did shout out Truly Twisted, I feel like a few weeks ago.
Thank you.
When you launched. So go
Appreciate
check it out.
And I appreciate both of you guys. Oh my god, that was so nice. My face hurts from smiling. Thank you. And I completely agree. I think a lot of our listeners are interwoven. So thank you so much. If this is the first time you're hearing me, or if it's not, But yeah, come check it out.
Either way, it's a good time. Thank you for being here. I don't really have anything witty to say right now. That's why I was like, dang, why did it come down and like leave me with a boner, a downer.
Rachel, you brought it back up all on your own with that.
Hey,
in more way than one. Hey.
And with that said, you guys, we will talk to you next Tuesday. Hopefully a little more sane. Just kidding. We will be back at it with our regular stuff. And until then, enjoy this. Go check her out. And we will talk to you guys next week. Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye.
That's the cutest bye I've ever heard.
The chat, it's like the bat signal. Like she's coming.
Here, no, let me respond to that.
Okay.
No,
okay.
Heather, shut up. Heather,
I won't say anything. I'm sorry.
It is. It's like the goddamn bat signal.
Okay.
Oh, fuck.
That's how I feel like saying that.
Hold on. I'm taking a video of this call right now. Okay. Smile, laugh, keep doing what you're doing. April, we're problem children, and we appreciate you.
All right, we've got this. I do need to go to bed someday.
I know.
so-
I'm
Okay.
the worst.
It's late there. It's late there.
You're
It's late
not.
there. Okay.
No. Sorry.
I thought you were going to go.
And I'm just a teenage.
Can you please
getting
send
nowhere.
me this intro, Rachel?
We're not gonna make it. No, we're not gonna make it. This podcast is brought to you by Wheezing R Us. Okay. Joel's like, if you don't shut the fuck up.
Sorry, Joel.
I can channel my inner professional. She has arrived. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Heather Show.
That's why I said I wasn't going to show you my face.
I didn't look at you. I looked at her.
We all
We're
win.
scissoring.
We're all. Okay.
Rachel, see, somebody's going to turn that into some sort of inappropriate audio clip.
That was the
We're
point.
scissoring.
Scissor
That was
sisters.
the point.
Scissor sisters.
I'm dead.
I really thought I was going to cut that part out, but I was like, wait, that
No,
was too good.
I'm
Now I
not
have
going to now.
Maybe it'll be at the end
One
of
of
the
my
episode.
May challenges was for a daily ab challenge, and I think laughing with
You
you
hit the
two
quota
for
today.
Hit it.
100%.
Hit it.
Soggy piece of lettuce.
Are you ready to turn up the heat on true crime? From blazing mysteries to scorched evidence, Crime to Burn is the podcast that dives into the world of criminal fires. Whether it's arson, cover-ups, or unsolved mysteries, we are lighting up the case files on every story.
With over 20 years of experience as a fire protection engineer, I'm here to help you understand the physics of fire and relate it to what investigators found.
Because if anybody can make true crime less terrifying, it's me.
Join us as we sift through the ashes to bring you the story behind criminal fires, including arson, bombings, and criminal negligence.
And I make sure you don't need therapy after. Tune in for a mix of expert insight, twisted tales, and a few laughs along the way. Crime to Burn, because sometimes the truth is hotter than fiction.